The Master Shipwright, builder of ocean dreams. Picture yourself in Master Roderick's shipyard along the Thames at Greenwich in 1445, where the rhythmic sound of hammers on oak planks echoes across misty waters as skilled craftsmen transform ancient trees into vessels that will carry brave souls across dangerous seas toward distant lands filled with mystery and adventure. The shipyard stretches along the riverbank like a wooden city, where massive timber frames rise toward gray English skies, creating the skeletal foundations of ships that will soon bear proud sails across the known world. Master Roderick has devoted 43 years to the ancient art of shipbuilding, understanding that each vessel represents not merely wood and iron, but dreams of exploration and hopes for safe return. Young apprentice Marcus arrives each dawn with eager anticipation, carrying leather tool satchels that contain the implements of maritime construction. His calloused hands already show the marks of dedicated labor, while his sharp eyes observe every detail of shipbuilding techniques that will shape his future as a master craftsman serving England's growing naval ambitions. A ship is more than floating wood, Roderick explains patiently, guiding Marcus through the selection of seasoned oak timbers that will form the vessel's backbone. She becomes home to men who trust their lives to our craftsmanship, a bridge between known shores and undiscovered realms where legends wait to be born. The current project dominates the shipyard's central area, where a merchant vessel designed for Mediterranean trade takes shape through months of careful planning and precise construction. Every joint must fit perfectly, every plank must curve according to mathematical principles that ensure seaworthiness in storms that will test both ship and crew to their limits. Marcus learns that shipbuilding begins years before construction starts, with careful selection of trees whose grain patterns and growth characteristics will determine their suitability for specific purposes. Oak provides strength for the hull's framework, while pine offers flexibility for masts that must bend without breaking in powerful winds. The forest suppliers maintain relationships with shipwrights spanning generations, understanding which trees will yield the curved timbers needed for ship construction. Marcus studies with selection principles, learning to recognize grain patterns that indicate strength, flexibility, and resistance to rot that threatens all wooden vessels in maritime service. Seasoning processes remove moisture from freshly cut timber while preventing splitting and warping that could compromise structural integrity. The shipyard maintains vast timber yards where cut wood ages naturally for years, developing the stability necessary for vessels that will face every conceivable weather condition throughout their working lives. Keel laying represents the ceremonial beginning of actual ship construction, when the massive central timber that forms the vessel's spine receives its first placement. Master Roderick conducts this ritual with prayers for divine blessing on the ship and all who will sail within her protective embrace throughout years of maritime service. Frame construction follows ancient patterns refined through centuries of naval architecture, creating the ribbed structure that gives ships their distinctive curved hull shape. Marcus practices joining techniques that must withstand the constant stress of waves and wind, while maintaining watertight integrity that prevents catastrophic flooding. Planking work requires exceptional skill in shaping individual boards that must conform to the hull's complex curves while fitting together, so precisely that seams remain watertight without constant maintenance. The apprentice learns traditional tools and techniques that have served shipwrights since ancient times. When humans first ventured onto open water, caulking fills the gaps between planks with oakum fibers and tar that create watertight seals capable of withstanding the constant movement and pressure changes that ships experience in heavy seas. This critical work determines whether vessels remain afloat or become submarine disasters that claim crews and cargo alike. Ironwork provides the metal reinforcements, fastenings, and hardware that secure wooden construction while bearing the enormous stresses that sailing ships encounter in storm conditions. Marcus observes the blacksmith's specialized techniques for creating ship fittings that must resist both mechanical stress and salt water corrosion throughout extended voyages. Rigging installation transforms static wooden hulls into functional sailing vessels capable of harnessing wind power for propulsion across vast oceanic distances. The complex systems of ropes, pulleys, and canvas require understanding of physics principles that convert air movement into forward motion through ingenious mechanical advantage. Sailmaking represents a specialized craft that complements shipbuilding, creating the canvas wings that will carry vessels across oceans through careful attention to fabric selection, cutting patterns, and reinforcement techniques. Marcus studies these related skills, understanding that ships represent collaborative efforts among multiple skilled trades. Testing procedures verifies structural integrity and sailing performance before vessels receive approval for ocean voyages that will stake crew lives on construction quality. Master Roderick oversees sea trials that reveal any flaws, requiring correction before ships depart on expeditions that may last months or years without opportunity for major repairs. Regional variations in shipbuilding techniques reflect different maritime traditions and local conditions that influence design choices. Marcus studies examples from Mediterranean, Baltic, and Atlantic traditions, learning how geography and intended use affect optimal construction approaches for various types of vessels and trading routes. Trade guild regulations maintain construction standards while protecting master craftsmen from unfair competition that could compromise quality for short-term profit. The Shipbuilders Guild provides training, certification, and mutual support that ensures consistent excellence in vessels that carry England's maritime commerce and naval power. Royal commissions represent the pinnacle of shipbuilding achievement, creating vessels for the English Navy that must combine fighting capability with seaworthiness for campaigns in distant waters. These prestigious projects demand the finest materials and most skilled craftsmanship that shipwrights can provide for national defense and overseas expansion. International influences reach the Thames shipyard through visiting craftsmen who share techniques developed in foreign yards, where different traditions have evolved solutions to common maritime challenges. Marcus benefits from this exchange of knowledge that strengthens English shipbuilding through incorporation of proven innovations from other maritime cultures. Seasonal work patterns adapt to weather conditions that affect outdoor construction activities, with winter months favoring indoor tasks like tool maintenance and timber preparation, while summer provides optimal conditions for launching completed vessels and conducting sea trials in calm waters, suitable for testing new ships. Economic considerations balance construction costs against vessel earning potential, ensuring that merchant ships generate sufficient profits to justify their investment, while providing reliable transportation for goods and passengers. Master Roderick must understand both engineering and business principles to create successful maritime enterprises. Innovation drives gradual improvements in ship design and construction techniques, as builders experiment with new approaches to increase speed, carrying capacity, or seaworthiness. Marcus observes how traditional methods evolve through careful testing and experience that advances the craft while maintaining proven safety standards. Apprenticeship progression follows established patterns that ensure thorough training in all aspects of shipbuilding before students advance to journeyman status and eventual mastery. The 7-year training period provides comprehensive education in technical skills, business practices, and professional ethics that govern maritime construction trades. Maritime archaeology provides insights into ancient shipbuilding techniques through examination of preserved vessels that reveal construction methods used by earlier generations of craftsmen. This historical knowledge informs contemporary practice while connecting modern builders with centuries of accumulated maritime wisdom and tradition. Navigation requirements influence ship design features that must accommodate the instruments, and techniques that pilots use to guide vessels safely across open water, where no landmarks provide reference points. Marcus learns how construction details affect navigational capability and sailing performance in various weather conditions. Cultural significance extends beyond practical transportation, as ships represent national pride, technological achievement, and human ambition to explore unknown regions, where adventure and opportunity await those brave enough to venture beyond familiar shores. Each vessel embodies hopes and dreams of entire communities invested in maritime success. Environmental factors affect both construction materials and sailing performance, as ships must function effectively in tropical heat, Arctic cold, and temperate conditions that challenge both human crews and wooden construction. Design adaptations address these diverse requirements through features that enhance performance in specific climatic conditions. Marcus develops skills in multiple aspects of shipbuilding, from basic carpentry through advanced joinery, fundamentals, and understanding of sail dynamics that affect vessel performance. His comprehensive training prepares him for eventual independence as a master shipwright, capable of managing complex maritime construction projects. Quality assurance procedures verify that each construction phase meets established standards before work proceeds to subsequent stages, preventing compound errors that could result in structural failures during ocean voyages. Master Roderick's reputation depends on consistent excellence that ensures vessel safety and customer satisfaction throughout years of maritime service. Collaborative relationships with suppliers, craftsmen, and maritime professionals create networks of expertise that support successful shipbuilding projects, requiring coordination among multiple specialized trades. These partnerships enable construction of vessels that exceed what any individual craftsman could achieve, working independently. Legacy planning ensures continuity of shipbuilding knowledge through careful documentation of techniques and training of successors who will carry forward accumulated wisdom. Master Roderick's lifetime of experience becomes a resource for future generations of shipwrights, serving England's expanding maritime interests. Advanced techniques include experimental approaches to hull design, rigging configurations, and construction methods that might improve vessel performance or reduce building costs. Marcus participates in these innovations while maintaining respect for proven traditional methods that have served maritime communities for generations. The shipyard community develops strong bonds through shared dedication to maritime excellence and mutual support during challenging projects that test both individual skills and collective capabilities. These relationships strengthen professional networks, while creating lifelong friendships among craftsmen who understand the unique demands of shipbuilding careers. International markets create opportunities for English shipwrights to serve foreign customers seeking vessels designed according to proven British standards for quality and seaworthiness. These export contracts enhance the shipyard's reputation, while providing experience with diverse requirements and design specifications. Technological advancement gradually introduces new tools and techniques that improve construction efficiency, while maintaining traditional quality standards that ensure vessel safety and performance. Marcus learns to evaluate innovations carefully, adopting improvements that genuinely advance the craft while avoiding changes that might compromise proven approaches. Research activities include studying foreign shipbuilding techniques, experimenting with new materials, and analyzing the performance of completed vessels to identify design improvements for future projects. This systematic approach to advancement ensures that progress builds upon solid foundations of accumulated experience and proven success. Documentation practices preserve construction details, material specifications, and performance data that inform future projects, while creating permanent records of successful techniques and approaches. Master Roderick maintains detailed logs that become valuable resources for apprentices and references for complex construction decisions. Market analysis guides decisions about vessel types and specifications that will meet customer needs while providing profitable returns on investment in materials and labor. Understanding commercial requirements enables shipwrights to create vessels that succeed in competitive maritime markets, while maintaining the quality standards that ensure long-term customer satisfaction. Winter planning activities include designing new vessels, ordering materials, and organizing work schedules for the coming construction season. These preparatory efforts ensure efficient use of good weather periods, when outdoor work proceeds most effectively and construction deadlines can be met reliably. Professional development continues throughout Master Roderick's career as he studies new techniques, corresponds with other shipwrights, and attends guild meetings where craftsmen share knowledge and discuss industry developments. This ongoing education enables him to provide cutting-edge expertise that keeps his shipyard competitive in evolving maritime markets. Safety procedures protect workers from the numerous hazards associated with heavy timber construction, sharp tools, and waterside activities that characterize shipbuilding operations. Marcus learns proper techniques that prevent accidents while maintaining productivity levels that meet project deadlines and quality requirements. Historical preservation includes maintaining traditional techniques and supporting museum efforts to preserve examples of English shipbuilding heritage for future generations. This cultural stewardship ensures that accumulated knowledge and craftsmanship traditions survive technological changes that might otherwise eliminate traditional skills and approaches. Economic impact extends beyond individual shipyards to support entire communities through employment opportunities and related businesses that serve maritime industries. The shipbuilding trade creates prosperity that benefits suppliers, craftsmen, and service providers throughout the regions where naval construction activities concentrate. Environmental stewardship guides timber harvesting and construction practices that ensures sustainable use of forest resources, while minimizing waste and pollution that could harm the natural systems supporting both shipbuilding materials and maritime environments. Responsible practices protect the foundation of the industry's long-term viability. As evening mist rises from the Thames, Master Roderick and Marcus review the day's progress with satisfaction born from honest labor that advances their shared mission of creating vessels worthy of the brave souls who will entrust their lives to careful craftsmanship. Tomorrow will bring new challenges and opportunities to serve England's maritime destiny. Through dedicated skill and unwavering commitment to excellence, the gentle lapping of water against completed hulls provides peaceful background music as shipwrights secure tools and cover work areas against overnight weather that might damage exposed construction. The shipyard settles into quiet rest while vessels under construction await tomorrow's continued progress toward their eventual launching into lives of maritime service. Let these images of patient shipbuilding work carry you toward peaceful rest, imagining the rhythmic sounds of construction and the satisfaction of creating vessels that will carry human dreams across vast oceans toward unknown shores, where adventure and opportunity await discovery. Sleep peacefully now, like shipwrights in yards long ago, knowing that careful craftsmanship and dedicated labor can transform simple timber into magnificent vessels that connect distant shores and enable the human spirit to clearly explore the boundless mysteries of the world's waters. The Master Vintner, keeper of the sacred vine. Picture yourself walking through Master Bertrand's vineyards in the rolling hills of Burgundy in 1449, where autumn mist clings to ordered rows of ancient vines heavy with clusters of deep purple, grapes that will transform through patient skill into wine worthy of royal tables and sacred ceremonies. The morning air carries the sweet promise of harvest, while experienced hands prepare for the annual miracle that converts simple fruit into liquid poetry. The vineyard estate stretches across south-facing slopes, where generations of Bertrand family have cultivated vines that produce some of France's most prized wines. Each plant represents decades of careful attention, with gnarled trunks and carefully pruned branches that speak of patient partnership between human skill and natural abundance under divine providence. Young apprentice Felipe follows his master through the vineyard rows, learning to read the subtle signs that indicate optimal harvest timing when sugar content reaches perfect balance with acidity levels that will yield exceptional wine. His eager questions reflect genuine passion for the mysterious art that transforms humble grapes into beverages that enhance celebration and sanctify religious ceremonies. Wine is prayer made manifest, Bertrand explains thoughtfully, examining grape clusters with the reverence of a monk handling sacred relics. We serve as humble partners with God's creation, guiding natural processes that produce sustenance for both body and soul through patient devotion and accumulated wisdom. The harvest represents the culmination of an entire year's careful vineyard management, from winter pruning through spring planting, summer cultivation, and autumn gathering. Each decision throughout the growing season affects final wine quality, making viticulture a year-round practice, requiring both technical knowledge and intuitive understanding of natural rhythms. Felipe learns that successful wine production begins in the vineyard, where soil quality, drainage patterns, sun exposure, and climate conditions determine grape characteristics that no amount of cellar skill can fundamentally alter. Understanding terroir becomes essential knowledge that guides every aspect of vineyard management and wine production techniques. Soil preparation follows, ancient practices refined through centuries of wine production, creating optimal growing conditions through careful cultivation, organic amendments, and drainage improvements that support healthy vine development. The estate maintains detailed records of soil composition and vine performance that inform decisions about planting locations and varietals. Vine selection requires understanding of grape varieties suited to local climate and soil conditions, with different cultivars producing distinct wine characteristics that serve various purposes, from daily table wines to ceremonial beverages for special occasions. Bertrand maintains several varieties that provide diverse options for different wine styles and market requirements. Pruning techniques control vine growth and fruit production, balancing plant health with grape quality through selective removal of excess growth that would dilute fruit concentration. Felipe practices these precise cuts that shape vine development, while ensuring optimal sun exposure and air circulation that prevent disease and promote even ripening. Seasonal care includes cultivation practices that maintain soil health, pest management that protects developing fruit, and canopy management that optimizes growing conditions throughout the lengthy maturation period. Each intervention requires timing and technique that comes from years of experience reading plant and weather signals. Weather monitoring becomes crucial knowledge as climate variations dramatically affect grape development and harvest planning. Bertrand teaches Felipe to read natural signs that predict optimal harvest timing, while avoiding weather conditions that could damage fruit quality through excessive rain, heat, or early frost damage. Harvest organization coordinates the work of numerous temporary laborers who gather grapes during the brief window when fruit reaches perfect ripeness. This intensive activity requires precise timing, adequate workforce, and efficient processing systems that maintain grape quality from vine to fermentation vessels. Grape processing begins immediately after harvest, with careful sorting that removes damaged or inferior fruit while preserving the best grapes for wine production. Felipe learns quality assessment techniques that ensure only suitable fruit enters. Fermentation processes where sugar converts to alcohol through ancient biological transformations. Crushing and pressing operations extract juice from grape skins, while controlling tannin levels and color development that characterize different wine styles. Traditional equipment requires proper operation and maintenance that preserves fruit quality while achieving optimal extraction of desirable components from grape flesh and skins. Fermentation management represents the heart of winemaking, where natural yeasts convert grape sugars into alcohol, while developing complex flavors and aromas that distinguish exceptional wines from ordinary beverages. This process requires constant monitoring and occasional intervention that guides biological activity toward desired outcomes. Temperature control during fermentation affects flavor development and alcohol production, with different wine styles requiring specific thermal conditions that promote optimal yeast activity, while preventing spoilage organisms that could ruin entire batches. Bertrand demonstrates traditional techniques for managing fermentation temperatures throughout the process. Aging procedures transform raw, fermented grape juice into mature wine through controlled exposure to oxygen, clarification processes that remove unwanted particles, and flavor development that occurs during extended storage periods. Different wine styles require various aging approaches that enhance specific characteristics while maintaining overall balance. Barrel selection affects wine flavor and aging characteristics, with different wood types imparting distinct flavors, while allowing controlled oxidation that develops complexity and smoothness. The estate maintains cooperage relationships that provide properly seasoned oak containers suited to various wine styles and aging requirements. Quality assessment throughout production ensures that wines meet established standards while identifying batches that require additional treatment or extended aging before reaching market readiness. Felipe develops tasting skills that enable recognition of flavor, characteristics, and quality indicators that guide production decisions. Storage conditions protect aging wines from temperature fluctuations, excessive light, and other environmental factors that could damage developing flavors or cause premature deterioration. The estate cellars provide optimal conditions for long-term wine aging while enabling access for monitoring and maintenance activities. Regional traditions influence wine production techniques and styles that reflect centuries of accumulated knowledge about optimal approaches for local grape varieties and climate conditions. Bertrand participates in these cultural practices, while incorporating innovations that enhance quality without abandoning proven traditional methods. Market considerations balance wine quality with commercial requirements, ensuring that production costs align with potential selling prices while maintaining reputation for excellence that commands premium prices. Understanding customer preferences guides decisions about wine styles and production volumes that optimize estate profitability. Religious connections sanctify wine production through recognition of sacramental uses that make viticulture a form of spiritual service. The estate provides wine for religious ceremonies while maintaining highest quality standards that honor the sacred purposes these beverages serve in Christian worship and celebration. Guild membership provides professional recognition and mutual support among vintners who share technical knowledge and maintain industry standards that protect both producers and consumers. Bertrand participates actively in guild activities that advance wine quality while preserving traditional production methods. Innovation balances respect for traditional techniques with careful experimentation that might improve wine quality or production efficiency. Felipe observes how new approaches undergo gradual testing before adoption, ensuring that changes genuinely advance the craft without compromising proven methods that have served generations of vintners. International connections expose the estate to wine production techniques from other regions where different approaches have evolved. Solutions to common challenges in grape growing and wine production. These exchanges enrich local knowledge while maintaining distinctive regional characteristics that define Burgundian wine identity. Documentation practices preserve production records that track vineyard performance, weather patterns, and wine quality data over multiple years. This information guides future decisions while creating permanent reference materials that inform estate management and production planning for decades. Apprenticeship training follows structured progression that ensures thorough education in all aspects of viticulture and wine production before students advance to independent practice. Philippe's development reflects careful guidance that builds both technical competence and judgment skills necessary for successful wine production careers. Equipment maintenance ensures that traditional winemaking tools and vessels remain in optimal condition for continued use throughout multiple harvests, seasons. Proper care of fermentation vessels, pressing equipment, and storage containers prevents contamination while extending equipment life through routine maintenance and timely repairs. Seasonal planning coordinates vineyard activities with wine production, schedules that optimize use of labor and facilities while ensuring that all necessary tasks receive proper timing and attention. Advanced planning prevents conflicts between competing demands while maximizing efficiency of estate operations. Economic analysis evaluates production costs against wine values to ensure profitable operations that support estate improvements and employee compensation while generating returns that justify continued investment in quality enhancement and expansion projects. Financial stewardship enables long-term sustainability of wine production operations. Environmental stewardship guides vineyard and production practices that protect natural systems while ensuring sustainable use of water, soil, and other resources that support wine production. Responsible management preserves the foundation of viticulture while maintaining harmony with surrounding agricultural and natural communities. Cultural preservation maintains traditional wine production knowledge and techniques that represent centuries of accumulated wisdom about optimal approaches to grape growing and winemaking. This heritage provides foundation for continued excellence while connecting contemporary practitioners with historical traditions. Research activities include experimentation with grape varieties, production techniques, and aging methods that might enhance wine quality or adapt to changing climate conditions. Systematic investigation enables gradual improvement while maintaining respect for proven, traditional approaches that have produced exceptional wines for generations. Professional development continues throughout Bertrand's career through correspondence with other vintners, participation in regional wine events, and study of new techniques that might benefit estate operations. Ongoing education enables continued improvement in wine quality while maintaining competitive advantages in evolving markets. Legacy planning ensures continuity of estate operations through training of successors and documentation of production techniques that will preserve accumulated knowledge for future generations. Philippe's education represents investment in estate continuity that will maintain family traditions of wine excellence. Philippe learns that exceptional wine production requires understanding of grape biology, soil chemistry, weather patterns, and fermentation science combined with practical skills developed through years of hands-on experience. This comprehensive knowledge enables independent decision-making that adapts general principles to specific circumstances. Quality standards guide every aspect of production, from vineyard management through final bottling, ensuring that estate wines maintain reputation for excellence that commands premium prices while satisfying customers who depend on consistent quality for their own purposes. These standards represent commitment to excellence that transcends commercial considerations. Collaborative relationships with suppliers, customers, and other professionals create networks that support successful wine production through access to materials, markets, and expertise that individual estates cannot provide independently. These partnerships enable achievements that exceed what isolated producers could accomplish. The estate's reputation attracts visitors who seek to understand wine production processes while purchasing products directly from producers. These relationships strengthen customer loyalty while providing feedback that guides production decisions and quality improvements based on consumer preferences and requirements. Seasonal celebrations mark important transitions in vineyard and production cycles, from spring bud break through harvest completion and new wine tasting events that recognize achievements, while building community among estate workers and customers. These occasions strengthen bonds while celebrating shared commitment to wine excellence. Winter activities include equipment, maintenance, planning for the coming growing season, and evaluation of previous year's wines that guide decisions about production techniques and marketing strategies. These preparatory efforts ensure optimal use of active growing and production periods when weather permits. Outdoor activities. Professional ethics guide relationships with customers, suppliers, and competitors while maintaining integrity in production claims and marketing representations. Honesty about wine characteristics and production methods builds trust that sustains long-term business relationships while enhancing industry reputation for quality and reliability. Advanced techniques include experimentation with fermentation methods, aging procedures, and blending approaches that might enhance wine complexity while maintaining distinctive estate characteristics. Felipe participates in these innovations while learning to evaluate results objectively and implement successful improvements in regular production. The vineyard community develops strong bonds through shared dedication to wine excellence and mutual support during challenging seasons that test both individual skills and collective capabilities. These relationships create professional networks while fostering friendships among people who understand the unique demands and rewards of wine production careers. Technical knowledge includes understanding of grape chemistry, fermentation biology, and sensory evaluation techniques that enable objective assessment of wine quality and identification of improvement opportunities. This scientific foundation supports intuitive judgments while providing rational basis for production decisions. Market trends influence production planning and wine style decisions that ensure estate products remain competitive while maintaining distinctive characteristics that differentiate them from competitors. Understanding consumer preferences guides strategic decisions while preserving identity that attracts loyal customers. Historical perspective provides context for contemporary wine production through study of traditional techniques and appreciation for accumulated wisdom that informs current practices. This knowledge connects present work with centuries of human experience while inspiring continued excellence in wine production. As harvest season reaches its climax, Bertrand and Philippe work together through long days that transform months of careful vineyard management into wine that will grace tables and altars throughout the coming year. Their partnership represents the eternal cycle of knowledge transfer that maintains wine production traditions while adapting to changing conditions. Evening hours find them sampling, developing wines, while planning improvements for next year's vintage. Understanding that wine production represents continuous learning and refinement that builds upon each season's experience. The quiet cellar atmosphere encourages reflection on the year's achievements while anticipating future opportunities. The gentle sound of wine aging in oak barrels provides peaceful background music as vintners complete daily tasks and secure facilities against overnight temperature changes that could affect developing wines. The estate settles into quiet rest while wines continue their slow transformation from grape juice to mature beverages. Let these images of patient wine production carry you toward peaceful rest, imagining the quiet rhythm of vineyard work and the satisfaction of creating beverages that enhance human celebration while honoring divine gifts of soil, sun, and rain that make viticulture possible. Sleep peacefully now, like vintners in estates long ago, knowing that careful attention to natural processes and patient dedication to quality can transform simple fruit into wines that bring joy to human hearts, while connecting us to the eternal rhythms of agricultural abundance and divine blessing. The Master Illuminator, painter of sacred light, Picture yourself in Master Augustin's scriptorium workshop within the palace of the Duke of Berry in 1416, where precious pigments gleam like jewels upon wooden palettes as delicate brushes transform blank parchment into windows of divine beauty that will inspire prayer and contemplation for countless generations yet to come. The workshop occupies the palace's most prestigious tower chamber, where tall windows face north to provide steady, shadowless light that enables the precise work of manuscript illumination. Master Augustin has devoted 36 years to this sacred art, understanding that each stroke of his brush serves not merely artistic expression, but divine purpose in making God's word visible and beautiful. Young apprentice Olivier arranges tiny pots of ground pigments across the work table, each color representing months of preparation from rare materials gathered across the known world. His steady hands already show the fine motor control necessary for detailed work, while his artistic eye develops through constant observation of his master's techniques and patient practice on lesser manuscripts. "We paint with light itself," Augustin explained softly, mixing ultramarine blue with egg tempera to create the perfect shade for the Virgin Mary's robes. Each illumination must glow from within, transforming dead letters into living prayer that lifts the reader's soul toward divine understanding through beauty that speaks directly to the heart. The current commission represents the pinnacle of medieval artistic achievement, a book of hours for the Duke himself, containing prayers for every season and celebration in the Christian calendar. Each page requires weeks of meticulous work, from initial sketching through final gold leaf application that creates surfaces reflecting candlelight-like captured sunshine. Olivier learns that manuscript illumination begins with deep study of theological meaning underlying each text passage, ensuring that visual elements support and enhance spiritual content rather than merely decorating pages. The apprentice studies scripture and liturgy alongside painting techniques, understanding that ignorance of religious significance produces empty beauty without sacred purpose. Color preparation represents one of the most crucial and time-consuming aspects of illumination work, with each pigment requiring specific grinding techniques and binding agents that ensure permanence and brilliance. The workshop maintains extensive supplies of precious materials, including lapis lazuli from distant Afghanistan, gold leaf from Venetian suppliers, and exotic dyes from Mediterranean trading centers. Parchment preparation creates the perfect surface for illumination through careful selection of finest vellum and treatment that prevents colors from bleeding or fading. Olivier practices surface preparation techniques that eliminate any imperfections while creating smooth, receptive surfaces that accept pigments evenly and permanently. Design development follows established iconographic traditions while allowing for artistic innovation that enhances visual impact without violating religious conventions. Master Augustin sketches preliminary compositions that balance textual elements with decorative borders and figurative illustrations that create harmonious page layouts. Figure drawing requires understanding of human anatomy, clothing styles, and symbolic attributes that identify various saints and religious personages. Olivier studies these visual vocabularies while practicing basic drawing skills that will eventually enable him to create convincing representations of divine figures and earthly subjects. Border decoration transforms practical page margins into elaborate frameworks that complement central illustrations, while providing opportunities for creative expression through plant motifs, geometric patterns, and fantastical creatures that delight viewers while maintaining appropriate dignity for sacred contexts. Gold leaf application demands exceptional skill and perfect timing, as the precious metal must be applied to slightly tacky adhesive surfaces using specialized tools that ensure smooth coverage without wrinkles or gaps. This technique creates luminous effects that make illuminated manuscripts glow in candlelight like supernatural artifacts. Perspective techniques create illusions of three-dimensional space within two-dimensional page formats, enabling artists to suggest architectural settings and landscape backgrounds that place religious scenes in convincing physical contexts. Olivier studies mathematical principles underlying these visual effects while practicing basic perspective exercises. Color symbolism carries theological significance that informed viewers recognize immediately, with specific hues representing particular spiritual concepts or religious themes. Blue signifies divinity and purity. Red represents divine love or martyrdom, while gold suggests heavenly glory and divine presence throughout creation. Workshop organization enables multiple projects to proceed simultaneously while maintaining quality standards that protect the scriptorium's reputation for excellence. Different apprentices work on various manuscript stages, from initial preparation through intermediate illustration to final finishing work that completes commissioned projects. Client consultation ensures that finished manuscripts meet patron expectations while incorporating personal elements that reflect individual spiritual interests and aesthetic preferences. The Duke of Berry requires specific saints and family heraldry included in his prayer book alongside traditional religious content that serves his private devotions. Technical innovation within traditional frameworks allows gradual improvement of illumination techniques while maintaining established artistic and theological conventions. Master Augustin experiments carefully with new approaches that might enhance visual effects without departing from accepted practices that ensure religious appropriateness. International influences reach the workshop through traveling artists and imported manuscripts that introduce artistic techniques developed in other cultural centers. Olivier benefits from exposure to Flemish painting methods, Italian Renaissance innovations, and Byzantine traditions that enrich local artistic vocabulary. Seasonal work patterns adapt to natural light availability and religious calendar demands that affect workshop productivity and commission deadlines. Winter months favor detailed interior work, while summer provides optimal conditions for color-critical activities that require perfect illumination for accurate color matching and application. Quality control procedures ensure that every illuminated page meets established standards before receiving final approval and inclusion in completed manuscripts. Master Augustin inspects each element carefully, requiring corrections or complete rework when necessary to maintain reputation for exceptional quality. Apprenticeship progression follows structured stages that gradually increase responsibility and complexity as students demonstrate competence and artistic development. Olivier's advancement from basic color preparation through simple illustration to complex figure work reflects years of patient practice under careful supervision. Religious education complements artistic training as illuminators must understand theological concepts underlying their visual interpretations of sacred texts. The workshop maintains a theological library while consulting with learned clergy who ensure doctrinal accuracy in religious illustrations and symbolic representations. Market demand for illuminated manuscripts continues growing as wealthy patrons seek luxury books that display both spiritual devotion and material prosperity through ownership of artistic treasures that demonstrate cultural sophistication and religious commitment. Professional recognition comes through guild membership that provides both artistic validation and commercial protection for master illuminators who compete for prestigious commissions from royal courts, noble families, and wealthy religious institutions throughout France and beyond. Collaborative relationships with scribes, bookbinders, and other manuscript specialists create integrated production systems that transform individual artistic contributions into complete books, serving both practical and ceremonial purposes in religious and secular contexts. Cultural preservation includes maintaining traditional techniques, while documenting innovations that advance the art form without abandoning fundamental principles that define manuscript illumination as distinctly medieval artistic expression serving primarily religious purposes. Legacy planning ensures continuity of workshop operations through training of successors, who will carry forward accumulated artistic knowledge and technical expertise that represents generations of refinement in illumination techniques and aesthetic standards. Historical consciousness connects contemporary work with centuries of manuscript tradition, while inspiring continued excellence that honors past achievements while serving present needs for beautiful books that enhance spiritual life and cultural enrichment. Advanced techniques include experimental approaches to color mixing, composition design, and decorative motifs that might enhance visual impact while maintaining theological appropriateness and artistic harmony within established manuscript formats and religious conventions. The workshop community develops strong bonds through shared dedication to artistic excellence and mutual support during challenging projects that test both individual skills and collaborative capabilities required for successful completion of complex illuminated manuscripts. Documentation practices preserve artistic techniques, color formulas, and design principles that inform future work while creating permanent records of successful approaches and innovative solutions. Two common problems in manuscript illumination and decoration. Olivia's artistic development reflects both natural talent and dedicated practice under Master Augustin's guidance, progressing from simple tasks through increasingly complex responsibilities that prepare him for eventual independence as a Master Illuminator serving noble patrons. Spiritual dimensions of illumination work connect daily artistic practice with contemplative traditions that view creative activity as form of prayer and service to divine glory, manifest through human artistic expression, guided by sacred inspiration and dedication. Economic considerations balance artistic integrity with commercial requirements that ensure workshop survival while maintaining quality standards that justify premium prices charged for illuminated manuscripts, requiring months of skilled labor and expensive materials. Technical mastery includes understanding of pigment chemistry, binding agents, surface preparation, and tool maintenance that ensure consistent quality while preventing common problems that could damage manuscripts or compromise artistic effects achieved through careful technique. Innovation drives gradual evolution of illumination styles while preserving essential characteristics that define medieval manuscript art as distinct from other artistic traditions, serving different cultural and religious purposes in various historical contexts. As evening candlelight flickers across half-completed illuminations that will soon grace noble libraries, Master Augustin and Olivier continue their patient work that transforms sacred texts into visual prayers, capable of lifting human hearts toward divine beauty through artistic excellence dedicated to spiritual service. The gentle scratching of delicate brushes on vellum creates peaceful rhythms as illuminators add details that will inspire wonder and devotion in future readers, who encounter these artistic treasures during their own spiritual journeys through life's joys and sorrows. Tomorrow will bring new opportunities to serve divine glory through artistic dedication that honors both earthly beauty and heavenly. Inspiration manifests in illuminated manuscripts that preserve cultural heritage while inspiring continued spiritual growth and artistic excellence. Let these images of sacred artistic work carry you toward peaceful rest, imagining the quiet concentration of illuminators creating windows of divine light that connect earthly beauty with heavenly inspiration through patient dedication and artistic excellence. Sleep peacefully now, like illuminators in workshops long ago, knowing that careful attention to beauty and spiritual meaning can transform simple materials into artistic treasures that inspire prayer and contemplation across countless generations. The Master Falconer, Lord of Sky and Talon. Picture yourself standing beside Master Cynric in the royal mews of Kenilworth Castle in 1452. where magnificent birds of prey perch on carved wooden stands, their keen eyes reflecting ancient wildness, barely contained by human partnership that transforms natural hunters into willing companions in the noble art of falconry. The mews stretches along the castle's eastern wall, where individual chambers house peregrine, falcons, goshawks, and according to their species and training status. Master Cynric has devoted 41 years to understanding these aerial predators, developing intuitive communication that enables cooperation between human intelligence and avian instinct in pursuit of quarry across English countryside. Young Squire Edmund observes nervously as his master approaches a particularly fierce goshawk named Tempest, whose yellow eyes track every movement with predatory intensity. The bird's powerful talons grip the perch while maintaining perfect balance that speaks of wild heritage, barely domesticated through patient training and respectful partnership. Falconry teaches us humility, Cynric explains quietly, extending his leather-gloved fist toward the hawk. These birds choose to hunt with us, not for us. We must earn their trust through consistency and respect, understanding that they remain wild spirits who honor us with temporary cooperation in ancient partnership. The current training project involves a young peregrine falcon, captured as a nestling and now approaching readiness for her first hunting flights. Each stage of her education requires precise timing and technique that builds confidence while maintaining the hunting instincts necessary for successful partnership between human and raptor. Edmund learns that falconry begins with deep understanding of raptor biology, behavior patterns, and natural hunting techniques that successful training must preserve rather than suppress. The apprentice studies bird psychology alongside practical skills, recognizing that ignorance of avian nature produces fearful or aggressive birds, unsuitable for hunting partnership. Capture techniques for wild birds require exceptional skill and timing that minimizes stress while ensuring healthy specimens suitable for training. The royal license permits taking specific numbers of young birds during appropriate seasons, with strict regulations protecting breeding populations while supplying falconers with training material. Housing facilities must accommodate each species. Specific requirements for space, perching arrangements, and environmental conditions that maintain health while preventing injuries that could end promising hunting careers. Edmund practices daily maintenance routines that keep the mews clean and secure while monitoring bird health and behavior. Feeding schedules control hunger levels that motivate training cooperation while maintaining optimal hunting condition that ensures peak performance during actual flights. Different species require specific dietary regimens based on natural prey preferences and metabolic requirements that vary with size, activity levels, and seasonal conditions. Training equipment includes specialized gloves, perches, bells, and flying lines that enable safe instruction while preventing loss of valuable birds during early training stages. Edmund learns proper equipment use and maintenance that ensures both human safety and bird welfare throughout extended training periods. Initial taming processes establish basic trust between bird and handler through patient daily interaction that gradually reduces wild fear responses while building confidence in human presence. This delicate work requires consistent behavior and gentle persistence that convinces naturally suspicious predators to accept human partnership. Flight training begins with short distances in controlled environments where birds learn to return to the falconer's glove for food rewards that reinforce cooperative behavior. Edmund practices whistle signals and lure techniques that communicate with birds during flight, while encouraging proper responses to handler commands. Hunting instruction develops natural predatory instincts within the framework of human-directed activities that channel avian hunting skills toward specific quarry species appropriate for sport and food procurement. Different birds excel at different types of hunting that match their physical characteristics and natural behaviors. Quarry selection depends on bird species and training levels. with smaller hawks pursuing songbirds and rabbits, while larger falcons hunt waterfowl and game birds that provide appropriate challenges for birds of varying skill and experience. Edmund studies prey species and their habitats to plan successful hunting expeditions. Field techniques coordinate human strategy with avian capabilities in pursuit of wild quarry across diverse terrain that tests both falconer skill and bird training under real hunting conditions. These partnerships require split-second timing and perfect communication between species separated by millions of years of evolution. Bather considerations affect flying conditions and quarry behavior, with different atmospheric conditions favoring various hunting strategies and bird performances. Master Cynric teaches Edmund to read meteorological signs that predict optimal hunting conditions, while avoiding dangerous weather that could harm birds or reduce success rates. Breeding programs maintain genetic diversity while producing birds with desirable hunting characteristics that combine natural ability with temperaments suitable for training. The Royal Muse participates in careful breeding efforts that ensure continued availability of quality birds for falconry programs. Health management includes understanding common diseases, injury prevention, and basic veterinary care that maintains bird condition throughout demanding training and hunting seasons. Edmund learns to recognize health problems early while implementing preventive measures that reduce illness and injury risks. Noble patronage supports falconry programs through financial resources and political protection that enable continued practice of this ancient art form. The royal household maintains extensive falconry establishments that serve both practical hunting needs and ceremonial purposes that display royal power and cultural sophistication. International connections expose English falconers to techniques developed in other countries where different traditions have evolved approaches to training and hunting with birds of prey. These exchanges enrich local knowledge while maintaining distinctive English characteristics that define the kingdom's falconry traditions. Seasonal activities adapt to natural cycles that affect both bird behavior and quarry availability, with different times of year favoring specific types of hunting and training activities. Winter provides optimal conditions for waterfowl hunting, while spring and autumn migrations offer opportunities for challenging flights. Legal frameworks regulate falconry practice through royal licenses and restrictions that balance sport interests with conservation needs, while maintaining social distinctions that reserve certain bird species for appropriate social ranks within the established hierarchy of medieval society. Cultural significance extends beyond practical hunting to encompass symbolic meanings that connect falconry with nobility, power, and harmony between human civilization and natural wildness. Birds of prey represent royal authority, while demonstrating the ruler's ability to command even wild creatures. Tournament competitions showcase falconer skills while providing entertainment for noble audiences who appreciate the technical expertise required for successful bird training and handling. These events strengthen professional networks while establishing reputations that affect career advancement opportunities. Equipment craftsmanship requires collaboration with specialized artisans, who creates leather goods, metalwork, and wooden components that meet exacting standards for durability and functionality. Edmund learns to evaluate and maintain equipment while understanding how proper tools enhance both safety and performance. Training philosophy balances respect for avian nature with human objectives that channel natural behaviors toward cooperative activities serving mutual interests. Successful falconers develop intuitive understanding of individual bird personalities while adapting general principles to specific circumstances. Record-keeping tracks bird performance, health status, and training progress throughout careers that may span many years of hunting partnership. These documents guide training decisions while providing valuable data for breeding programs and general improvement of falconry techniques. Professional development continues throughout Master Cynric's career through experimentation with new techniques, study of foreign methods, and mentorship relationships with other experienced falconers who share knowledge and provide mutual support during challenging situations. Safety procedures protect both birds and handlers from numerous hazards associated with working with powerful predators equipped with sharp talons and beaks capable of inflicting serious injuries. Edmund learns proper handling techniques that minimize risks while maintaining effective control during training and hunting activities. Economic aspects include costs of maintaining birds, equipment, and facilities balanced against practical benefits of fresh game and social advantages of participating in noble recreational activities. Successful falconry programs require substantial investment and ongoing expenses that justify their continuation. Ethical considerations guide treatment of both hunting birds and quarry species through principles that ensure humane practices while maintaining sporting traditions that have evolved over centuries of noble participation in falconry activities throughout European courts. Conservation awareness influences falconry practices through understanding of population dynamics and habitat requirements that support sustainable harvesting of wild birds while protecting breeding populations that ensure continued availability of quality hunting companions. As autumn hunting season reaches its peak, Master Cynric and Edmund work together, preparing birds for the challenging flights that test months of careful training against wild quarry in their natural environments. These partnerships between human and raptor represent ancient alliances that predate recorded history. Evening hours find them tending birds that rest quietly on their perches after successful hunting flights, understanding that each day's activities strengthen bonds of trust and cooperation that make falconry possible. The peaceful muse atmosphere encourages reflection on the day's achievements while anticipating tomorrow's opportunities. The gentle sound of birds shifting on their perches provides quiet background music as falconers complete feeding routines and secure facilities against nighttime disturbances that could stress resting birds. The muse settles into quiet rest while birds digest their meals and recover. Strength for future flights. Let these images of noble falconry carry you toward peaceful rest, imagining the sight of magnificent birds soaring across open countryside, in partnership with skilled falconers who understand the ancient art of cooperation between human intelligence and avian instinct. Sleep peacefully now, like falconers in Castle Mews long ago, knowing that patient respect for wild nature and dedication to traditional skills can create partnerships that transcend species boundaries while honoring the magnificent creatures who share their hunting gifts with appreciative humans.